Welcome to Caseback Watches. My name is Tim and today we're talking about suits. And if you're not a suit guy, please stay with me. At a certain point of your life you will be in need of a decent suit. And when you go then and buy the nastiest, cheapest thing you can find, then it will ruin your day. By the way, vintage or is pointer date on leather. Okay, but why am I making this video about suits? And that's because of my video Rolex Submariner together with this suit. Link in this corner, I think in this corner. And there was a little debate in the comments if formal attire is reachable for the masses, for everybody, and I don't want to run a snobby channel here. I don't want to exclude people, and so I've asked myself, Tim, what do you know about affordable suits or suits in general? And luckily I know something about suits because I have a very good tailor in the family, and so I'm in a lucky position to wear mostly bespoke suits. But of course under normal circumstances people have to watch their money, and I know this as well because I'm a part-time jazz musician and I have a lot of colleagues in my band, and I know musicians from other bands, and I can assure you, I can know for a fact that the unofficial outfitter of a big bunch of musicians is Suitsupply. And this for good reasons, because they deliver quality at a low, or let's say affordable, price point. And I visited Suitsupply in Hamburg several times with colleagues to give some advices to them, and I've made my experiences with Suitsupply. And I think now I'm able to explain to you how to buy a decent suit at Suitsupply's under $500 because there are some points to keep in mind there. And I will show you what I mean right now. Okay, here we are on Suitsupply.com, and let's start with a basic material with the fabric. Okay, clothing, suits. Let's narrow it down to $400, which is the blue line. And now you have a collection with some suits, and let's take the first one and explain the fabric. And this is exactly what you want. 100% wool, or let's say 100% natural fibers, because this is the main problem with other brands and other manufacturers. They want to sell you cheap fabrics with a big part of polyester or acrylic fibers in it, and of course they claim this improves the quality of the fabric, and of course this is bullshit. This improves the revenue of the manufacturer, nothing more. The problems with natural fibers are they have some disadvantages. Some of them change the color, for example, after some time. And then you have a slightly tone of lilac in your suit, and of course you don't want that. And other fibers can involve some funny and unpleasant smell. So you want 100% natural fibers. Wool is acceptable, of course, or linen, silk, merino wool, cashmere, whatever nature gives, but you don't want plastic in your suit, no matter what the store manager tells you. Okay, second, Super 110, S210. There's a technical explanation behind this super numbers, and it has something to do with the yarn, but I don't want to bother you with those details. Rule of thumb here, a lower number is a more robust fabric. And if you have a super, let's say 180, then this can be very delicate. And you can ruin a suit with super 180 on your office chair in 6 weeks. There are some exceptions, yes, but generally spoken 110 and 120 is more robust than 150 or 180. And nice information here, if you have those names, Stignoni or Barberis Canonico, or those are proper mills from Italy. Of course, they're not boutiques, small boutiques for fabric. Barberis Canonico, for example, is a huge enterprise, but they produce quality fabrics, and so this is acceptable and fine for us. Okay, and little addition here: if you were in, let's say, spring or summer, then you could find here some natural blends. Let's say linen and wool, which is a great blend because it wears cool, but you don't have this wrinkling horror of linen, of pure linen. Or let's take silk, wears wonderful during hot seasons. And of course this is acceptable because we're talking about natural fibers. That's all about the fabric. We keep this short here. Let me add some advice first. You cannot buy a suit straight from the rack and wear it with a good fit. This is close to impossible. If this happens to you, then you are the one in the million or the one in 10,000 people. Generally, you need a tailor for alterations, and Suitsupply, they have their own tailor service, and it's, at least in Germany, they're very qualified people there, and you can trust them, and so, but you have to calculate a little bit extra for the tailor. So if you have $500, then I wouldn't spend the entire 500 on a suit, because then you have nothing left for the tailor, okay? So in my opinion, the better solution is spending 400 on the suit and spare 100 for the tailor. Then you have a very, very good result at the end. Now let's talk about the fit. Let's take this suit. Let's start with the shoulders. Rule of thumb here. If you are standing near to a wall and you lean yourself against this wall, then your muzzle here and your shoulder pad should hit the wall basically at the same time. If the shoulder pad is like this, then this is a very nasty fashion from the 80s, and I would avoid that, okay? General rule, same time on the wall, your muzzle and the shoulder pad. And some tailor claim that it's impossible to alter a suit shoulder, which is not true. If your tailor says this to you, then you need another tailor, because it is possible. Of course, he can't enlarge the shoulder, because the industry works with very, very, very small seam allowances, so this is impossible, but you can narrow it a little bit, let's say half an inch on every side, which is plenty, which should be enough. Okay, next part, collar. We know our color size from our dress shirts, and the problem is every suit has a color size as well, but this size is not indicated. This is the problem, so you have to check it on your own. And if you have a color here and it's too white, then the whole suit looks too big for you. This is not very, very beautiful, frankly. I mean, Google Sean Spicer and color gap, and then you can see some really nasty images. Okay, next part. Let's go. Oh, I can't see the back here. Okay, then I have to explain this like this. If you see directly under your neck some wrinkles, then the color is too high. Okay, then your tailor needs to lower it a little bit, and then the excessive fabric will disappear. And the other version is that you have a big gap between your neck and your collar. And as I said, this can be a collar which is too big for you, or only a part of the collar sits too low. And then your alteration tailor has to lift it up a little bit. Okay, let's go to the waist bottom. Excellent is when your natural waist, you can see it here, the narrowest part of your upper body. If this line connects with the button, which is not the case with this suit, you can see. Most tailor make this. They place this button an entire inch above your natural waist, which is acceptable. What this would be the optimum. And if you pull this button away from you, you should have some space there, okay? Otherwise, you look like a fat sausage. And rule of thumb here, not more than 2 inches. Maybe 2 inches are too big. Let's say 1.5 inches. But this depends hardly on your style. If you want to have a very tight fit, of course, then you won't accept 2 inches. And if you're more on the comfortable side, then you will accept 2 inches. Okay, sleeves, very important, sleeves. You can see here, this sleeve is rather short. And rule of thumb here, if you had to choose between a sleeve which is too long and the sleeve which is too short, then go for the too short sleeve. This may be a little bit surprising, but believe me, if the sleeve goes like this, then you look like a politician. You know, this with those saggy suits, black and very, very ugly. And the whole suit then will look too big for you. And that's not what you want. You will look slouchy in a way. And there are 1 million rules out there about this part between, you should see your shirt cuff, let's say 1.5 centimeters or 3/4 of an inch. And in my opinion, this is bullshit. Just take your thumb and this width you want to see here. But if you see a smidgen more like this or a smidgen less, my God, we're moving all the time, so it's not a big deal. Now, trousers. Let's talk about trousers. Is this a good fit for trousers? I'm not so sure. If you want to look like a male model, or if you run a fashion blog or something like that, maybe, or you are highly inspired by the 60s, okay, I got it. But if you want to have a more versatile look or conservative look, then I would avoid this. Because if you change your mind, you cannot make this trouser longer, okay? Even if there are some seam allowance here, you always will have a small line here. So we need another fit, and my recommendation is this. The hem of your trousers should kiss your shoe, okay? You want one crease here, not two, not three, one crease, and that's it. What on earth is this? This is a very strange trouser for Suitsupply. Okay, and now let's talk about the waistband. This guy, I think he wears a belt, which is of course absolutely acceptable, wearing a belt, nothing against that. My opinion is if you have the possibility to wear suspenders, then wear suspenders. They add a little extra fit to your trousers. Looks much better with suspenders, but of course you shouldn't see them here. So suspenders are a great choice if you have a 3-piece suit. But they are also acceptable, of course, with a 2-piece suit, then you have to stay in your jacket. Okay, and now we could talk about colors, but I'm not going to do this because you have your own taste and every occasion is different, every country is different, every region is different. And so I think this wouldn't make any sense talking about colors. Okay, so we skip that. If you want more advice buying suits or about suits in general, please let me know in the comments, then I make an additional video to this, but I want to keep this short. Okay, that's all about suits. Thank you very much for your attention and maybe until next time.